Okay. Okay, let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, as I said, this is PHP, HTML, MySQL-based system, voluntary management system. We will we'll have about 3 sessions on Saturdays, and based on what you guys learn or have questions, we'll see if anything else is needed. I think most of you know me. We have met at the temple, except for, I think, Lagima. I met your parents. I haven't met you. But maybe let me just go ahead. Everyone, if you can just introduce yourself and maybe which grade you are on. And also, if you can let me know about one more thing. Let me actually add this here. I wanted to know this, the skill level. So maybe, do you know HTML, website creation, PHP, and database? So maybe we can start with Sanvi.
Yeah. My name's Sanvi. I'm going to 10th grade, and I know HTML and maybe website creation.
Okay. Okay. Lagima.
Hi, my name's Lagima, and so far I have learned HTML, website creation, and while it's not on there, Java and JavaScript.
Oh, okay. So you have you programmed on Java?
I have beginner programming for my school course.
Okay. And what grade are you going with?
Sorry?
Which grade you will be going to this year?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to be going to 11th grade.
11th. Okay. Okay. Rishi, I think your daughter is 6th grade, right?
She can introduce her.
I'm Prabika. I'm gonna go to 6th grade. I kind of know how to code, but my dad's gonna be helping me just in case.
Okay. 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 And Aditi?
Hi, everyone. My name's Aditi Agnihotri. I'm going into 11th grade, and I have prior experience with HTML, website creation, and Java.
Okay. Java. Okay. So now that I know the background of you guys, so then we can accordingly maybe change the course a little bit here and there, and hopefully you guys will learn something new. Okay, so I mean, is this visible, or do you want me to? I think I'll make it a little bigger. Okay, so as you know, we will be creating a volunteer management system, and I made it like a course for high school students. I think what you build at the end of this would be very high level, learning HTML, PHP, etc. But at some point, we will try to get this VMS system onto our Bhavani Temple website. We don't have too many folks yet and too many volunteers, but I'm sure we'll grow, the temple will grow, and at some point we will start using it. But meanwhile, at least you guys will learn, and if you want to continue adding to that system, that's up to you. Okay, am I recording? Yeah. Oh, actually, am I sharing also? So just a quick agenda. So we will get some introduction on what the course is about, and maybe I'll ask you guys what you think the volunteer management system should contain. Today, okay, overall, we'll create a web environment. We will work through some databases, tables, etc. And then we'll create the code in PHP. And during the course, again, it's more interactive. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can unmute yourself and ask the questions. And so review and Q&A we'll do during the course. So today is session 1, where we will do the introduction of the course, course structure, etc. We will also create an account on the website. So overview, we'll create a small HTML page today, but again, I think most of you said you already know HTML, so that one should go a little faster. So hopefully today's session will go faster, and the next 2 sessions where database in PHP would be a little more complex, but I'll send you some information on websites and books. So if you want, you can pre-read and maybe come prepared a little bit. We will, I think again, you guys have created websites, but I'll go through a little bit high level on what is web hosting. We will use one of these web hosting, infinityfree.com. Of course, there are several others. Even GoDaddy and others, they have maybe like a month or 2 months free. But for this course, we'll just go with this infinityfree.com. So we'll set up an environment today, and we will go through some basic HTML. And as I said, most of you know HTML, so today's course, hopefully, today's session should not be too difficult and should go smoothly. Later, we will, in the next session, we'll create PHP and databases. And actually, that was for today's session, we will actually create a simple HTML page. In session 2, then we'll go through MySQL databases. Again, we'll create a database in infinityfree.com. We'll create the tables, and we'll see how to connect using PHP to MySQL. Now, one of the things probably you guys may think is why PHP, and I'll walk through them when I start the session. And the last session, maybe the 3rd session, we will actually create the user registration programs. We'll create user logins, event management, and then volunteer sign up. And after that, again, it's up to you. You guys can be innovative and create more, continue to add more to that. And I don't think we'll need session 4, but I'll just put if needed based on how we proceed through 3 sessions. Any questions, Shafar?
Roasting in here, bro. There's roasting. Oh, there's no roasting in here. There's only easy roasting. No, I'm a gas.
I think. So Poonamji, I think Pari is your daughter. I think on your side there was some background noise.
Sorry.
So I have
just
muted you.
Yeah.
Okay. And is Pari there? Can she introduce herself to rest of the folks here?
So Pari is not with me. Actually, she's in another car. I forgot to add her in. But I think this is recorded, right? So she is in the 9th grade right now, and she will be volunteering this sessions.
Sure. Okay, great. Okay, any questions from anyone about the course? So what we'll be covering? Anything you guys were thinking would be covered, and I have not mentioned that here.
One question, like, will we use anything in the front end with the PHP?
Yeah. HTML will be used for in the front end. Right.
Okay, and it will be like SSO from the temple website?
No, so this course we will not connect to the temple website. This is more an introduction of how you create a system. So we will actually not have anything from this course into the website, but as I said, after that, once students learn it, if they are interested, we can do something on the website also.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah, this is more a basic course on HTML, MySQL databases, PHP,
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so let me stop that one. So let's start session 1, right? Today. Okay, as I already mentioned, we will be today going through the objectives. We'll create a account on one of the web hosting, and we'll create a free website there. And maybe today we'll do HTML, but if time permits, we can go into PHP. If not, I'm thinking maybe like an hour or hour 15 minutes today, because I'm sure everyone is busy. So we can take PHP in the next session. Okay. So we will cover the basics of volunteer management system and work on a hands-on project. You should be able to understand what a volunteer management system is and create your own project also. I think we already went through this. So most of you know HTML. Some of you have created website. None of you know PHP or database. That's what I got from the earlier interaction. So one thing I wanted to mention, why PHP. When you create websites, there are several technologies that are available, and I think Priyachi, you are asking what is the front end on this. When you go to, let's say, GoDaddy or any other website creation, nowadays, there are like Wix.com and many places where you can automate, just drag and drop. But I'm assuming most of the students or kids here want to know behind the scenes, and maybe when you go to college for your maybe computer engineering, computer science, you would like to know what's going on through different technologies, and not only like a drag and drop, which many of the website creation tools give. That is one. The other is most of the websites creation have a tool called WordPress. I'm sure you might have heard about this. WordPress is used in, I would say, about 75–80% of websites creation. It's a drag and drop, a little bit more complex than Wix.com or any of those drag and drop, which GoDaddy or others give. But every website hosting gives you a WordPress option. Now, when you create websites from using WordPress, if you have to just do like a generic simple website, you can again create pages and drag and drop. But once you start getting into a little bit of complexity, all the WordPress and every website uses PHP behind the scenes. And that's why I thought maybe we'll use PHP for this course. Of course, there are other user or UI technologies like Node.js. I think some of you talked about JavaScript and all. Those can be used. But if you are really getting into the hands-on of, let's say, WordPress and other websites, you would see most of them use PHP. And so it's good to know PHP for your college applications, So that's why I thought PHP. And database, of course, everything uses databases behind the scenes. So knowing database is a good skill for your college, and we'll use MySQL. There are other databases like Oracle. I work for Oracle. Oracle, there is MongoDB. There are several databases out there. But MySQL is free, PHP is free, and so when you are learning or creating a quick hands-on website, even for your school and other things, you can use these technologies. Any questions? Okay, so let's go to what is volunteer management system. Here is something I have written, but maybe I'll ask you guys if you think of anything else. Maybe make it more interactive, make this a little bigger. Okay. So a volunteer management system efficiently manage volunteer activities, recruiting and scheduling or tracking hours and communication, and organizing, engaging, and retaining volunteers. So before I go there, anyone wants to maybe raise your hand, unmute yourself, or want to say what do you think a volunteer management system should include?
Hi Vijayji, where is it used basically? VMS.
So let's say for our Bhavani temple, right? If we have once we grow, I mean, I know I was telling earlier we are very small, but let's say once we grow, if we have thousands of people, there would be several volunteers. If you see, I don't know if you know about the Bhartiya temple. Even I think in Sai temple in Melbourne, I help in Sai temple, and there we have a volunteer management system. What it does is it allows. Let me take an example with Bhavani temple only, but think of we are very big and thousands of people. So let's say this in August we have the Janmashtami coming, right? If we wanted to have volunteers sign up, maybe help in parking, maybe help in food preparation and all of those, right? So those would be the volunteers we would want people to sign up for different activities in the temple. Now, I'm giving an example in temple because we all are associated with that. But you can think of it anywhere, even in the school or college or maybe library or anywhere, right? Where you would have an activity coming up where you want to let people know about it, have volunteers sign up. So you may say, I want 10, 20 people for this volunteer, and then you send it to all the people who are volunteers, and some of them will sign up. What I have also seen is several high school students, right, as they volunteer, they want to get a certificate. They want to let the management know how many hours they volunteered for, what they volunteered for, and at the end get a certificate for that volunteering work. So all of that good volunteer management.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Right. A good volunteer management system should be able to do that. And there are systems available in Salesforce and other technologies. This one, in these 3 sessions, we'll just go through the basics of what should be in there. And again, students can continue to create more. But yeah, good question. Anyone else? Any questions, or what should a volunteer management system have? Okay, if not, feel free to raise hands or unmute yourselves and ask questions, guys. Okay. So here I put a few things. There should be a user registration and login. So think of, let's say you guys are volunteers, you should be able to register and log into the system. You should be able to create your profile. So we'll not go into profile creation, but that's a few things I mentioned here. Is if you want to continue creating or adding to this system, a profile is more like how I was asking, what are your skill levels? So maybe in the volunteer system, someone is good in making food, right? Or another person is good in decorations, or maybe computers or whatever, right? So in these profiles, the users who are registered, they can provide their profiles and what they are good at. So when an event comes, we can decide, okay, how out of all these people, which ones we want to pick for that particular activity. Of course, event management, where, the event, like I was saying, maybe in August we have Janmashtami coming, or any other program. So we should be able to manage that event. Our system should be able to say, okay, when is that event? what time is that event, how many hours that event, and how many people we will need. Should be able to schedule the volunteers, manage the tasks. So within, like I said, there could be food preparation is one of the tasks, decoration is another task, and so on. So should be able to manage those. A good volunteer management system should have communication tools like sending an email. Nowadays, maybe text, should be able to connect to WhatsApp and things like that. Again, we'll not go into all of these in these 3 sessions because we are keeping it basic. But those are things you can add in your system. It should be able to report and do some analytics. So I know in one of the other places we have a system where every week it actually sends a report to the administrators of how many volunteers, which activities were needed for volunteering, how many volunteers registered, how many actually showed up, because sometimes people have something else coming in during the activity, so they may not show up, right? So how many actually showed up? And then, as I was saying, a lot of high schoolers I've seen wanting to get volunteer certificates. So the system should be able to create those certificates and say this person volunteered for this activity and had so many hours, right? So those kind of things. And yeah, a good volunteer system should also have like an admin dashboard where, let's say, if I'm the administrator or whoever is managing the system, should be able to do all of these things. I think Poonamji, you're asking, okay, where are the useful things about it? So again, if we have hundreds of volunteers and like big temples have them, or maybe library and college or schools have lots of volunteers. So streamlined coordination, of course, good engagement with volunteers. If it has a good communication system, you can send emails, etc. Efficient event management and accuracy of tracking of volunteer hours. I know, like in another temple, Sai Temple, several times we had to be careful of when a student or adult volunteers, we need to make sure how many hours they actually volunteered, so we can report it on the system. Reporting, and of course with a good volunteer system, as you send emails to your volunteers, maybe appreciate them for the work they have done, you get a good retention on those volunteers. Okay, so that was everything about the system itself. Now we'll get into maybe creating an account for the website. Any questions so far? Okay, if not, let's continue. So today we will create an account in Infinity Free, and we'll create a basic HTML page. And if time permits, I'll go into a little bit of PHP. If not, then we'll do PHP in next session. So before we get into creating the account, let's go a little bit basic on what is web hosting. Okay, I know a few of you said you've created websites. When you create a website, maybe you have gone to hostgator.com or maybe GoDaddy, which is a lot of people use. But what are they actually doing? What are these hosting services doing, right? So I thought maybe put a little bit brief or details about that. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So, like research, sorry. It's a service that allows individuals and organizations to make their website accessible via the internet. So you can create sorry, my garage door is opening here. But you can create an HTML page locally. You can save the HTML page on your machine, and you can render it or show it on your machine, but it's not available to all the people on the internet, right? So that's where the web hosting companies come into picture. They allow you to copy your HTML, PHP, JavaScript pages onto their hosting servers, and these servers are computers during servers around the let's say different regions, and that is where your files would be residing. So they also provide technologies, right? So like I said, PHP, MySQL, Node.js, databases. They provide all those services. Even the what I was going to say, WordPress, right? So those kind of technologies are provided by these companies. And your websites, your code is hosted and stored on special computers called servers. Okay, so hopefully some of you know, some of you may not, but I thought maybe just go through some of these basics. And web hosting is essential for making a website accessible to users on the internet. These companies provide storage space. So as you are maybe storing your images, videos, etc., that storage space is provided by these companies. Okay. So again, a good hosting service would provide you reliable performance, security, etc. I know if you guys followed yesterday what happened with airlines, 911, and a lot of organizations had problems yesterday, which is continuing today, and I think it will take another couple of days for that issue to resolve, where several of these website hosting companies were using Microsoft. There are two main technologies which are used for hosting. One is Unix Linux OS, and another one is this Microsoft servers, IIS servers. And so a good web hosting service should provide you good performance. The website should go very fast. They should also provide security and uptime. And if you guys are following the news, yesterday Microsoft updated their, I think the crowd, what's the company, I forgot, crowdsource, or I'm forgetting the name, but they updated the security on their website host providers, and that actually caused an issue. So things like that, these website hosting services should be careful. And these services should also provide backup and technical support and maintenance. So if you are actually going to, maybe during college time and others, if you are creating maybe like a startup or your own websites, etc., you want to make sure you are using a hosting service which provides all of these things. Okay. Different types of web hostings. There are shared hostings and VPS, and there is one more. So what happens in shared hosting is there are multiple websites hosted on a single server. So think of GoDaddy or maybe HostGator. They have one big server, has a lot of memory and CPUs, etc. But they are hosting multiple websites. Your website, maybe our Bhavani Temple website, maybe other websites also. So all of them are hosted on the single server. It's, of course, it's cost effective for them and for us, people who have like simple websites, not maybe a business website. It's cost effective, and for small to medium websites, it's good. But then it also has limited resources and can affect performance if a lot of users are on that shared hosting. Okay. There is another type of hosting, VPS, virtual private servers. These are companies which give you a virtualized server that mimics a dedicated server. It's a little better than the shared hosting. It allows maybe only a few websites on these VPS servers, and it gives you a little bit better flexibility than the shared hosting, because there are not too many users and you have your account it's not that hundreds of websites are on that server. And it's better for medium to large size websites with higher traffic. So if you see this one was small to medium, these are medium to high. Okay, and then the let me see, yeah, so there is also cloud hosting. So there is a dedicated hosting. So a lot of businesses, they use dedicated hosting because they don't want performance to get affected or security, etc. Although I'm sure the airlines, etc., they were using dedicated hosting, and yesterday they still got affected. So there is always chance that there could be a security issue. But dedicated hosting is where you have a hosting provider give you a server specifically for your own website. It provides maximum control, security, better performance. It's really good for large businesses or websites. But the cost also is high. So I wouldn't assume like for small website creation, even for startups, they would go with a dedicated hosting. But as people grow, they would like to have more of a dedicated hosting so they have better control. And then there is this last side, which is a web hosting, a cloud hosting, where let's say you have a business and e-commerce business, and you want you have thousands of users coming and buying stuff from your website, right? At that point, you want to make sure that the load is balanced. Sometimes you might have heard the website crashed because several users logged in. So to mitigate that, people would want to go for cloud hosting, where there is a load balancing happening. The resources are scaled so that handle high traffic, right? It offers more reliability, but it is very expensive. So just a little bit background on what type of hostings are available if you are maybe creating a high-end business, etc. But to start with, we will generally GoDaddy or HostGator is good. And for this course, we'll actually even go cheaper than that, which is free with that Infinity free website hosting. So yeah, so I think, like I said, we will go with the free web hosting. They provide basic hosting and no cost. Good for beginners, small personal websites, or even testing, like we are doing a testing website. They have limited storage, bandwidth is less, so sometimes there could be performance issues. They may not have all the technologies providing. Of course, I've seen that all of these, even the free ones, if you pay them, then they start giving you a better bandwidth and better technologies. And yeah, they do have ads on their websites. They have subdomains. I think we will create a subdomain for our website in this session because it's free. Some of the examples are, this is 00 Web Host, Infinity Free hosting, and several others. So we will use Infinity Free today for our account. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far? Everyone is still awake? Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, great. Is it too basic, or you guys okay? I thought maybe to cover some basics with you guys.
It's fine.
Okay. So let's go to infinityfree.com. And as I said, you can use, there are others like 00 Web Host, free hosting. And if you have created websites, you can even use, if you already have that, you can use GoDaddy, HostGator, etc. But they do start charging maybe $5 a month or so. So for this, we will go with Infinity Free. Let me see what else. Okay, so I will maybe let's go ahead. You guys can also follow me. I have this will be recorded. I also created another recording to walk through this Infinity Free. I'll send that also. So if you guys want to follow along now or maybe create later, that is fine. Let's go to. So you log into infinityfree.com. Again, as I said, this actually has ads, etc., because it's free. So that's something you have to just skip your mind from. But so you can log in or register. So for this, you will register. And when you're registering, you have to give your email address. And I'm going to say yahoo.com. So you can give your own. You'll have to give a password, confirm your password, read and agree to terms of service, and then sign up. Once you sign up with your account, it actually it'll send you an email and you have to verify that account. Okay. Once you've done that, you can come back here and log in. So because I already have an account, so I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click on login. I have an account in Gmail. Let's say keep signed in and log in. Is anyone doing it along with me, or you guys want to do it later? Okay, I'm assuming you guys probably would create it later, or if you have some other hosting server, that is fine also. But if you are using Infinity Free, you will not see this. You will have to actually create an account, right? Because I already set up something. So that's why I said close the ad. So once you click on that, you will create an account and you will use this free account, right, for now. So if you see here, it gives you 5 GB disk space, which is fine, unlimited bandwidth, hosting domain. It does not give you email, etc. It won't also give you PHP mail. We are not going to do mail in these sessions, so we don't need mail servers. But later, if you are interested and you want to know more about that, feel free to learn or maybe send me an email and I'll provide you more details. And of course, there are other plans. So this is similar to GoDaddy, but I don't think GoDaddy has a free version available there. So in your accounts, you will click on create now. You will create a new account. Once you have created your account, you would see something like this. Okay, it will give you an ID. And then also a subdomain. So I just called it VMS Vijay, Volunteer Management System Vijay. You can use your name or anything else. And so this would become your website for this course. Whatever name you give, .infinityfreeapp.com. Now, for people, some of you may already know, but this is called subdomain. Right? Earlier in the slides, I was talking about subdomain. Generally, you would want to keep a name, something like volunteermanagementsystem.com. But to keep it free, this is how a subdomain can be created. Okay, so once you have created your account, a few things keep in mind which you may want to note down. When you click on that create account, you have a file manager. Now, this is where we will be copying our code, which we'll be writing maybe next session or the last session. You'll click on this, and this is very similar on any website you will create on maybe HostGator, GoDaddy, etc. There is a location where all your files should be copied. If you see here, these guys are saying do not upload files here because this is not from where they will serve the files, right? In this case, you have to go to htdocs, and this is where all the files will be. I have copied some files, but as we go through the course, we will create all these files. You will also be creating all these files, and you'll be copying these files in there. When you create a new file, you would use this left-hand side here at the bottom, and you'll upload a file, right? And you'll select the file and upload that file, which will show up here, and that is what we'll be using for looking at our file. The other thing, coming back here, to be, at least for this post, is this control panel. Actually, before that, I would like you to, when you are creating your own websites, not for this course, but if later you are creating, you would want to know about FTP. This is File Transfer Protocol, which is where you can use it for copying your file. So many of these services give you a file manager. But if you see, it's a little bit clunky and more work. You have to go one file at a time, etc. Right? There are tools called something like FileZilla, WinSCP, etc. And again, if you guys are interested in that, let me know. I'll give you more information. But those are called FTP, File Transfer Protocol tools. And there you'll have to give a username, password, port, etc. to copy the files. Those tools are much better because you don't have to come to this hosting service. You don't have to come here and copy file one at a time. Those tools allow you to do better management of your files. But then you need to know FTP, user ID and password, etc. for those. And the other thing which we will use, and many of your projects later you'll use, is this MySQL databases. This is, like I said, the databases. There are different types like Oracle, MongoDB, etc. MySQL is a free database. When you click on that, at least for this host, again, you need a user name for your MySQL. You need a password, and you also need a host name and the port. So these things, and we'll go through this detail again when we are creating the, let me see. Can you please? Sure, yeah, Punanji, I'll do that. And I'll walk you guys through in details again when we are actually creating the tables, etc. But these are the things you would need, these 4 things, to create your tables. The next important thing would be this PHP MyAdmin. So you'll come to MySQL databases, you'll get all this information, and PHP MyAdmin, and this is for any website you'll create. It's not only for Infinity free, even in HostGator, GoDaddy, or any of the projects you will do later. If you are using MySQL, you would need this PHP MyAdministrator. This is where you can see your databases, you can see the tables which you have. So for example, in this case, I've created a few tables for our volunteer management system. We have tables called users, events, etc. And we'll go into details of all of these when we create the tables. But then again, just at a high level, you'll come to MySQL databases. You'll need to know all this information for your database. This is my database, yours will be different. And then you will use PHP MyAdmin to log in and create tables, etc. Okay, any questions? Okay, so let me see, what did I want to cover? So actually, let me quickly walk through this. When you are, you guys might have created maybe a website, and you might have used a website builder, like I was telling you, Wix.com or any of those. I think I mentioned earlier that they allow you to do drag and drop, but it has minimum capacity, right, of what you can do. If you are, and most of you will actually go to computer science and computer engineering, so you will have more details of what is going behind the scenes by writing the code. So although a website builder is good for maybe a small website, a quick project you're doing, but as you learn the coding and the databases, you can do a better job of knowing behind the scenes and fixing any problems, etc. So I just wanted to keep that slide there so we could talk about that. Okay. So any questions so far before we get into a little bit of coding? Okay. So as I mentioned, we will create a small HTML program. We'll copy that program here. I think I misspelled it here, but we'll create an example.html today and copy that onto this website, and then we'll see how it shows up on the browser. So let me actually go back here. So HTML, I think a couple of you, or maybe 3 of you, said you already know HTML, so maybe it'll be easier for you guys. But let me just walk through some of the slides. So HTML is hypertext markup language, which is used, most of the websites or the browsers, they use HTML to show the websites. Basically, it uses tags. Example HTML, there is a head tag, there is a body tag, title tag. H1 is for heading 1. There are H1 to H6 tags. P is for paragraph. A is for hyperlink, and then if you want to create some images, right? So I put some of them in here. Before I jump to this one, I don't know if in this current WhatsApp group I sent this or not, but I'll send it again. You can, if you want to learn a little bit more, you can go to this W3 Schools website. Let's actually go there. And you can actually try HTML. There is documentation, etc. But you can actually write the code here and then run it. Right, so it's a very good website, free website, where you can learn HTML. And we'll use the same for later for PHP and other things also. So if you have not seen this site, maybe you want to bookmark it. Most of the technologies are here and you can learn them. There are also, there are of course other websites you can look at. There are a few good books. I have mentioned them here. If you are interested, you can maybe buy them from Amazon and all, and learn them. So let's go back to the slide number 19. As I mentioned, in HTML page has tags. If you see here, I have tried to, this is called indenting. I've tried to indent them. It's not necessary to indent, but it's a good practice to learn when you are starting to learn coding, not only HTML, but any other program also, maybe JavaScript and all. Always use indenting. This is very helpful in troubleshooting and maybe looking at the code to see what's going on. Okay, so keep that as a standard practice when you are starting to write code, to always do some indenting. Again, it's not mandatory, but it's helpful when problems start occurring or you need to troubleshoot. It's very helpful. That's my experience. In HTML page, any tag which you create, there is always a closing tag. And the closing tag is always the same tag, but a slash // So HTML / HTML. You see head, there is a / head. So always a closing tag is there, and it's good to use that. An example, again, title. This is the title of the page, and there is a closing tag on the title. The head is metadata information for the page, but whatever you put inside the body is what shows up on your browser. So even though the head is a good thing to have, this is the most important thing. Anything what goes in the body is what will show up. Here, just as the first HTML, I have put H1 heading. It's an HTML page and an image which is showing up in here. Okay. Let me say, okay, I think that was the last slide. So what we will do, we have another 7 to 8 minutes. How about we take that time? If you have any questions, we can answer those. But let's, you guys can maybe log into this Infinity free, create your account. After you've created the account, come to this file manager, look through that, and let's create a simple HTML page. I can put this on the chat if you want to copy paste, but try to create a page, maybe example.html, copy it to this location, and then you will see it by, and this would be different for you, right? This is VMS Vijay, but you may have something different. And slash, I think I misspelled this. I have to say example.html. And this is what it should show. So let's take a next 7 to 8 minutes to do this exercise. And that's where we will probably finish today. In the next session, we will actually go into creating the MySQL database. I'll walk you guys through. I think most of you said you don't know databases. So I'll actually, I had it at a high level, but maybe this week I'll update these slides and go a little bit more detail on what databases, etc. are. And then we'll create MySQL database, tables, etc. Does that work?
No, not really when I try to verify my email address, so.
Okay, so let me stop sharing. Maybe you can share Lagima, right? So let me stop sharing. Can you show what's going on?
Okay, so let me just quickly try to on my computer. Otherwise I was trying on my phone. Oh wait, never mind. I'm sorry, it works. My phone just wasn't like functioning correctly.
Okay, sure. So yeah, that means you are able to create your account. Make sure you copy paste your user ID, password, etc. So because we'll continue to use this account next 3 sessions.
Yeah, it says your account. I need to create an account. Like there are no accounts yet, so.
Yes. So if you remember, that's what I was showing you here. Once you log in, you have to actually, I'm not sharing my screen. Let me share my screen. So what I was showing you, once you've created your main account on Infinity, you would actually need to come here and click on create account, right?
Yeah.
This is, okay, so you have to create that, get your user ID, password, and there you have to also give a subdomain name, which is important because this would be your website for next, for at least for this volunteer management. So give a different name, I mean your own name, etc.
Okay, so right now, it says step 2 domain name. I'm on the subdomain tab, so like I do my name and then it'll add the extension.
Yeah. Can you share it so others can also see? I
Sure.
stopped sharing, so you can share.
Is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay, so I should do my name down here, right?
Yeah, so if you see, this is the subdomain, and I discussed earlier what a subdomain is, right? Generally, if you are creating your websites, maybe let's say you want to create a website called lagima.com, right? That would be your site. However, a subdomain is a sub website within your main domain. So on the right-hand side, you see domain extension, which is saying .infinityfreeapp.com, right? On
Yes.
top of that, you are creating a subdomain, and this is where you can give any name, say VMS, your name, etc. So whatever name you want to give.
Okay, I'll just do, that's all.
Yeah, try it because check availability. It may or may not be available. So yeah, click on, if it is available, that's good, but others won't be able to use the same one. And it said is already in use, right? So maybe give a VMS. I gave VMS and Vijay my name, so I'm sure that won't be available. That will be available for sure. So one thing, I mean, you can give, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, try that, and most probably it'll be, yeah. So that's available now. Make sure that you remember this, because this is, yeah, this one is going to be your website, vmsgupta.infinityfreeapp.com. And then you can, okay, so yeah, you can stop share, you can put other things and make sure copy paste. That's in somewhere in your text. Nothing.
Thank you.
How about, sure. How about others? Sanvi, Priyeshi, Aditi, are you guys able to create an account?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sanvi, you are able to create account, right?
Yeah, I created one.
Okay, then you can go to the next step of creating the small, simple HTML file. Try to upload it. See if you are getting any errors. If not, then try to run and make sure you see your HTML page. How about you, Aditi? Are you able to do it?
Yep, I was able to do it too.
And your HTML page is showing up?
Yep.
Okay, great. And Tracy, are you able to do it?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay. If you want to share and you need help, please feel free to do that. So can you guys maybe on the chat just type in done if you are done with you're able to copy the HTML file and able to see the page, so that I know who all are done. Whenever you're done.
Excuse me, one more thing. Could I share my screen again for a second?
Yeah, feel free.
Okay. Okay, so from here, what do I do?
So click on it. Yeah, this one. So this is your account. And if you remember from the class, the file manager, the orange one, is where you would be copying your files, right? Okay. And as I mentioned during the class, you won't be copying to this folder, because if you see the last one, it says do not upload files here. It's not going to serve the files from here. Instead, you will go to HD docs, the first folder. Yeah. Double click on that. I think you should be able to, yeah, either open here or double click on HD docs. It should be able to open. Okay. So this is where all your files would be getting copied, and this is where the website will be served from. If you look at the bottom, there are icons, in the black, yeah. there you have upload the file, etc. Right? So the first one with an arrow here, next to left, yeah, this one. If you click on this, this will open a pop-up, or yeah, it will ask you to upload the file. So if you are creating your .html, example.html, you can click on this and load your file here, right? It will go into your, and wherever you have written the file, you can open a text tag, write your HTML, and copy it here.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So do all of that today so that you are in the next session, we don't have to go through that. Okay.
Is my screen still sharing, or did I cut it off?
No, it's not sharing.
Okay, thank you.
So Sanvi, if you are done, can you show your screen, your HTML page?
I'm still working on that part. Just give me a
Okay, no problem. Sure. Yeah. So I just put on the chat the HTML code. If you guys are having problem, you can cut paste this onto your text pad. If not, if you want to try yourself, that is actually better. So, but in case you're struggling. Okay, so Lagima, looks like you're done. So it's good. Let's wait for others. Yeah, Aditi, that is okay. Let me actually just 1 second share my screen again. I think some of you guys have to go. So I was thinking just a quick homework, and we'll not do the session preview, but for your program, maybe you can add an image as an extending the program. Also, if you want to maybe play around by creating a user form in your example.html, try to do that. And you can share any ideas or anything you find interesting on the WhatsApp channel also. Okay, I will stick around if anyone has questions for some time, but I think that's the end of the session today.
Thank you.
Okay, so everyone done? Okay, yeah, then we'll talk next time. Tracy, you're done? Your daughter is done?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's done.
Okay. So yeah, I think as I was saying, maybe can learn to add an image, create a user form, etc. I'll send the link to HTML website for next session. So maybe this week she can try to get her hands around that.
Yep.
Okay. Since you are here, I think others. Let me actually first stop recording.